Hi, everybody. And it is now week number 7. We obviously have a little bit different of a week this week since it's Thanksgiving. But I did want to make just a little video highlighting some of the things that are going on this week, just to make sure that you know what is expected of you as always. So I'm going to keep this really short and sweet, but we are in the last 2 weeks of our class at this point. So we're in week number 7 this week, and then week number 8 next week. Our class officially ends. I'm going to start dropping this several times. Our class officially ends on Friday, December 1st. So I know that's a little different than normal. It's not something that I said, it's something set by the college. But Friday, December 1st, we have this week and next week. So just make sure you plan accordingly, since that next week is a little bit shorter than normal. But this week, for week number 7, we are looking, let's let it load here, at the chapters related to stress and health and psychological disorders. So chapters 13 and 14, two, I think, kind of interesting topics, definitely very connected to where we are at this time in the semester, thinking about stress. So make sure that you read chapter 13 and 14 in the ebook. Make sure that you go through the lecture, watch all the videos, click on any links that are in there. All of that's going to help you to understand the materials. Don't forget to also watch the lecture video as usual. You have 2 discussions for this week, a very typical week for us. So discussion number 13 is related to stress and health. And as usual, you have my instructions up here, and then you have my video, which I would definitely suggest watching. I think that this discussion is kind of a fun one. This is something that I created just last year. This is kind of a newer one. But what you're going to be doing for this is looking at the topic of self-care. And self-care is just like it sounds. It's finding ways to take care of yourself. It can be big, it can be small, it doesn't have to be elaborate. So what you're going to do for this activity is you're going to read through this little short article on self-care, on what it is and so on. And then I want you to engage in 5 self-care practices this week. And so what I want you to do is you're going to take and share, upload 5 pictures of you engaging in some self-care activities. These need to be your own images. So original work, you can use your phone or your camera, whatever is easiest for you. Try and have the images be thoughtful, creative, and well composed. To make sure they're not blurry, make sure they're high quality, that they're clear, that they're engaging in some way. Try to have them be thoughtful and creative as well. You don't need to actually be in the images. You can have part of you be in it. Like a lot of people, if they did a manicure, maybe they have their hands in there. It can be part of you, but you don't need to be in it. It's actually probably smarter if you're not. I'm totally open to that. It can be of any element of your self-care activity. So if you go on a walk, you could take a picture of where you went or the trail or whatever it might be. I want you to be creative and have fun with this. Try not to overthink it. It's really anything that you do to give yourself a break and do something to care for yourself in some way. So with each picture, you're going to give me just kind of a short description, just a couple of sentences. As a side note, I am writing a book about self-care, and I might reach out to some of you to see if I can include your images in there as examples. So again, make sure they're well composed and creative, and you never know, I might reach out to you and you might make it into that book. So just something kind of fun as a side note. The next discussion number 14, is related to psychological disorders. So with this one, again, you have my instructions and my videos, so make sure you watch that and read through those. Hopefully you have a very clear idea of what I'm looking for at this point in our class. So with this one, you're going to read a very short, or it's not super short, I don't want to lie to you. You're going to read a discussion article right here on disorders. And this is kind of a unique perspective. So for the most part, you're getting the very mainstream perspective in this class of mental illness and the DSM and so on. But with this, I'm giving you a very polar opposite perspective written by a psychiatrist named Thomas Szasz. And he argued that mental illness is a myth. And so what I want you to do is read through this and have a chance for some critical thinking. I want you to summarize his main ideas. What are some of the reasons he presents as support for his claims of calling mental illness a myth? Do you agree with him? Why or why not, right? Partially, completely, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear them. And then do you think that diagnoses stigmatize people? In other words, in what ways do diagnoses maybe help and or hinder people. And I want you to kind of reflect on that a little bit as well. So I look forward to your responses. You'll obviously hit reply here. Don't forget to also reply to a classmate to get those easy 2 points. I will, obviously, if you're watching this, you found this video right here under the recording of this week's live stream, which we didn't have because of the holiday. I am going to give you an extra credit question here in just a moment. Just a quick reminder, if you could take one more opportunity to quickly double check that you are still subscribed on Twitch. So many of you fell off, and last week was really a little bit tough having to go through and find everyone. So I would really appreciate it if you could take a minute to renew that one last time, as we have this week and next week left. We will have one final live stream next week on Wednesday at 11:30. And I'll go over everything for week number 8, chapters 15 and 16, discussions 15 and 16, the final exam, and the closing assignment. So I'll go over all of that next week. I hope you'll be able to join me one last time. Let me give you the extra credit question for this week. I did kind of type it out here on the screen in hopes that that would be helpful. What does DSM stand for? And what edition are we currently in? So what does DSM stand for? And what edition are we currently in? And if you'd like to go ahead and answer that, you can go right here to optional Twitch extra credit number 7. You don't have to worry about putting your name in the chat or anything this week since we didn't do a live stream. So you can hit submit assignment up at the top or start assignment. Let me click that here, start assignment. And then you can type your response in the box and go ahead and hit submit. And this is due by Friday, December 1st, when our class ends at 11:59 p.m. And thank you so much for those of you who've been watching these videos and joining the live streams. I'm happy to do them as long as you're still joining me. So thank you for that. I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. If it's something that you celebrate, stay safe this week. Hopefully this wind is almost done. I am over it. It is making a mess and killing the internet a little bit here. So hopefully the wind is almost done. I'm ready to eat way too much food and watch some football. So I hope you all have a wonderful week, a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I will look forward to seeing you next week for our last Twitch live stream. All right. Thanks, everyone. Take care. All right, bye.